Okay. So here we go again. 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 Okay. I'll do so. Here we go again. Okay. I'll do so. Here we go. Okay, cool. So, yeah, welcome back to this stream. My second one. Let's see how it goes. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I did a quick one where I just went through getting Anthropic set up and my streaming setup as well. And today I thought it would be cool to try and get Anthropic, the tool usage in Anthropic working, and maybe plugging it into some search engine. So the idea is to get from um, just a simple LLM, not plugged into anything, and being able to ask questions and getting it answered from online data. So let's see. I have no idea how long I have today, since my family will probably arrive soon, but let's see how far I get. Okay, first let me just figure out how Twitch works. Okay, cool. So you only see part of my screen in part because, yeah, so this is the management thing. So I only have like looking at a certain block. Okay, so let's see. We want to run some tools. So I thought maybe first we'll start by just having some simple function calling. Like we'll do the simplest thing possible. Maybe we just follow whatever is in their docs, or we get like a simple game where it has to call out to a function, maybe get like maybe get a like a secret that it needs to find, and that secret is in the function that we pass in. So if that's successful, we'll try to plug into some search API. If that works, we'll try and scrape some websites and just get some data out. I have some ideas on how to do that very simply. We'll see. That's why I'm calling it Scrappy Scraper. And then at the end, very likely not today, but the idea is I'm building this chatbot to work on Discord. So the idea is that we would integrate this with that chatbot. So I'll probably leave that to another day. I also want to open source it. So I left it at this the other day. We were building Hello World in some language. Okay. Oh, sorry, I keep getting distracted with Twitch blinking things at me. Okay, cool. So I thought maybe I'll just reuse this so I don't have to run everything again or write everything again. We'll rename this to uh, tool usage. Okay, so we've got Anthropic going. Let's just make sure everything is fine and that the key is set up, which by the way should be here. Okay. Okay, cool. So I haven't yet tried tool usage, and one thing you'll notice on my streams is that I'm usually trying things I haven't done before. So uh, I will likely fail live, but at least you get to see how I fail. Maybe that's useful. Okay, so we got the thing running again. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to be replacing this. So actually, what I'm going to do, let's start cleaning this up a little bit. So this gives us the request gives us the output as well. What we're going to do. So this is now set up. That's fine. We've got the client here. There's a simple message. I'm actually not a big fan of collab, I must say. Okay. Okay, so we've got this set up. Let's see. So what we're going to do now, just to keep it simple, let's keep the system message here. This will help organize at the end. Okay, and then some messages. Okay, so for now, I'll just create a very simple function. So I don't know. Oh, uh, query Claude along these lines, and we want the so this would be the user method. So let's call it user prompt. Okay, and we're going to get back just a response. So what we're going to do is something along these lines. Okay, so let's also pull this out just so we can have a bit more control, because I think we may have to change the model soon. Okay. Okay, so far this is fine. Fine, we'll leave this here for now, doesn't matter. Okay, and then here we get to put the user prompt. We'll want to expand on this in a moment. We'll see how it goes, but okay, take this out and we return this. So far I'm just doing like a very basic um, message passing to Claude, not doing any tooling yet. Then we'll check the documentation and then we come back to this. Okay, so we can query and then let's just try it out. So query Claude. Um, okay, hopefully this works. There you go. If we print, it should just come out a bit better. Okay, there you go. So yeah, this is formatting, markdown formatting. That's fine. Actually, for the bot I'm building, this is pretty cool because Discord just outputs the right thing here. Okay, cool. So we've got it running. Now let's see what we need to do. The one cool thing is, first, Anthropic's documentation is pretty good in my opinion. They also have this GitHub with cookbooks for a bunch of different things, including evaluation, which they started adding recently. And they have tool usage here. Okay, function calling is what we want, but before we go there, let's just find it out here. Tool use prices. Oh, good. Function calling. Okay, so what do we need? So we pass the tool, so we define them separately, and then we pass the message. So I guess the tools we can have defined all the time, and then our function should still work. I have no idea if it requires a certain model or not. For now, I'm going to assume Haiku can do. So Haiku is the fastest model they have. Here we go. Okay, so where are we? Um, okay, let's see. So they have get weather, get the current weather. I assume we have to implement this. So how does it work? So okay, no streaming, that's fine. We're not using it. Okay, so we provide the tools. We define like what it means, etc. We provide the user prompt. That's what we have so far. Claude uses the tool, so this is it assesses when it needs to use a certain tool or not. Okay, so far so good. And then gets the formatted tool use request. API response, top reason of tool use, indicating the Claude wants this. Okay, so okay, and then so far, if I remember properly reading about like for example how OpenAI works, etc. This is kind of a loop where in the life cycle of a request, we'll send a request and then it will come back with an answer, but the answer is not the final answer. It will be just a stopgap, or in this case, like a full stop where they have a stop reason. And it will be telling us that it requires using a certain tool. We pass in the results of using that tool, and then it provides the next step. It could be using another tool, or it could be just the final answer. So let's see. So extracting the tool inputs, run the costs. How do we pass it? On the client side, it should extract the tool name and inputs to Claude's from Claude's tool use request. Okay, run the actual tool on the client side and then return the result to Claude, continuing the conversation with a new user message containing a tool result content block. Okay, so we'll need to figure out how to define the tool result. So I'm just going to pass this here. Just going to keep some notes. Okay. Also, just in case. Okay. So then Claude uses the tool results to formulate the response, and after receiving the response, it will give us the final response to the original prompt. So it should be remembering the original prompt. That's cool. Okay. Steps 3 and 4 are optional for some workflows. Yeah, that's fine. All tools are user provided. That's fine as well. So this is how we specify the tools. We get there in a second. Name is okay. Description, best practices for tools. So provide extremely detailed descriptions. Okay, that's interesting. Um, so what the tool does, when it should be used or when it shouldn't, what each parameter means and how it affects. So let's start with nothing there, and any important caveats or limitations. Okay, and more context. Okay. So aim for 3 to 4 sentences per description. Actually, my expectation is that if it is a certain type of tool that is pretty common, we might not need to describe so much. So, for example, web search, I would expect it to understand very well what it is. But if it is something very specific to our application, or as it gets more specific to the domain, I expect we have to define more. One thing I have no idea yet how to do is how to evaluate it works correctly, but we'll see. Okay, prioritize descriptions over examples. That's fine. Actually, what I found is that when you provide too many examples, it ends up trying to copy parts of the example. Um, okay, so this is one. Let's see what they describe. Okay, yeah, it's fine. I mean, this one is pretty small, which they consider poor description. Okay, so here they describe quite well what each thing does. Here, it's interesting enough. It describes a little bit about what goes here as well. Generally, here they provide examples in this format. Required. Okay. Um, I want to know what comes out. That's what I want to. I must say, I usually have very low patience for documentation. um, okay. Please and result content blocks. Okay, so when it decides to use it, stop reason is will be to use. So stop reason tool use. So if we see this, basically we cannot do what we were doing here. We cannot just do that. So if we see that, we want to figure out something here. Okay, there you go, here. This will likely be the reason. Yeah, there you go. This is the reasoning. We can, for now, I'm going to ignore. I might just print it out, but I'm going to ignore. Okay, so we want to use, we get some ID, which I suspect we need to pass back so it knows how to relate to this specific request. Yeah, input. Okay, these are the arguments. I'm not going to do much validation now, but one thing to keep in mind is that, to my knowledge, it's not guaranteed that this is a correct function call. So even if you define everything correctly, you may still get the wrong output here. Okay, so we extract the name, the ID, and the input. We run, and we continue the conversation by sending a new message with the role of user and the content block containing the tool result. Okay, so content block will content, where is it? Just this full result. Interesting. Okay. This is equivalent to this. Okay, fine. I guess we can type the responses. That's fine. And if there's an error, we do this. Okay, cool. And after receiving the tool, Claude will get information in the response. Return. Okay. Okay, let's ignore error handling for now. So let's create some toy problem. Um, so what I'm thinking at the moment is we could do something where, I mean, we could do just a standard thing they have in the cookbook, but I think that's not as interesting. So, oh, this is actually, sorry, Pydantic. I guess it's cool because it just helps us define the functions and the parameters and everything and kind of convert into this schema. I suspect that's my assumption, but for now, let's just continue with the simple case. Okay, so let's do something that it would definitely not be guessing the results. So let's maybe make it play a little game where the user has to, what should we do? Something that requires a secret. So I had written here where a function calling, and we get to like do like a little game that requires calling out to some function. So I'm thinking like maybe like a secret. Um, so the user has to guess something. Let's see, what do we pass in the system call? Let's just make it so that the user has to. Hmm. Is the user guessing something or is the LLM guessing something? If the LLM is guessing something, we don't need a function call. So let's define two functions. We're going to want to define a function that, so function that contains a secret. We'll see how we use that. I'm just making stuff up at the moment. And a function that aggregates a score and a function that returns the current score. Okay. So, and the goal of the game, well, the goal is to have the user guess the secret. Each guess each guess adds a hundred points, and each fail takes 10 points. Okay, so that's it. And what I want to get to is for the LLM to know that when it's starting the game, it needs to call out to get a secret or some secret word, like let's call it secret word, and then provide hints, and then have the user guess, and yeah, and then call the function, and then if the user asks what is the current score, it should also provide a not count as a failed guess. Okay. It's actually something I've been thinking about is if it is possible to have LLMs be just the state machine of a game and then code the game like this, but have it call in and out of the actual game so that you can maybe change the state of the game or render the right thing. Twitch keeps blinking. Okay. Okay, cool. By the way, I have no idea if there's anyone viewing this. If there is, you can just say hi in the chat. Because I also have no idea if I can see what anyone says. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So, so now this is where I'm going to move it down and ignore this. So we want to define the functions. A lot of it I'm going to do hard coded now, and then we can figure out how to improve the code. This is not like final code. I'll do that once I move it to Mochi. Okay, so system message. What did I say I wanted to do? Okay, so let's see if this works. You okay? Um, okay, you are a game host guiding the user. No, suddenly I forgot how to speak. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just do something. So you're a game host and the user. Okay, the user has to guess a secret word, and okay, the user has to guess a secret word. Um, and guess, each correct guess adds 100 points to the user. Each failed guess removes 10 points from the user. Okay, I want to be able to break this. I don't like very long lines, so let's just break it here. Uh, okay, okay. So what else? The user can request their score, their current score, uh, which does not count as a failed guess. Okay, so far so good. Okay. I'm not sure if I need to provide this, but I'm just going to say you have to use oh, uh, the tools provided to get the secret word and update the score. Okay, okay, so far so good. I'll want to put some guides around this, and if the user tries to do something else, But yeah, and now we also assume that the user already knows what they're doing, so they need to start by guessing. Or maybe not, we'll just start by, yeah, this will have to be a chat. So that's the other thing. We need to have a way to aggregate. Maybe I should have started with a much simpler example. Um, Actually, yeah, let me just, for now, comment this out. Let's just do a much simpler one where we just need to get the actual secret. Let's start with that. So uh, you are a yeah. Let's still start with this. You are a game host, okay, user. Okay, so far, gets a secret word. Okay, so up to here is fine. Up to here is fine. Um, okay, this has to get a secret word, and then we just do this. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we do that, and now what we're going to do is just define the secret tool, and then get the user just to guess something and see what do we output. Um, you have to tell the user if they guessed correctly. Also provide the secret word, the result. This will help debug. Okay, okay, that's fine. And now we need to define some tools. So how did they say we need to do that? Tools. Let's just copy this for now. Oh, okay, so get secrets. What is this? Um, get the secret word the user has to guess. Okay. Um, this is a single word. And the output is a single word. Okay, so that's fine. And then input schema properties, we have none. So input schema, can I pass an empty one? Hmm. Let's see. Input schema. Okay, I'll just pass an empty one for now. Okay. Tools. Tools. Let's put out the system. I think that was it. So we got tools. Yeah, max token, message, roll. Okay. So let's see what comes out. So here I cannot do this. So I need to pass the message. Well, actually, what I want to do later is to have this. Let's call it game host, actually. Game host. So to have this do the full loop of getting the secret, passing it on to the function, etc., until we get the right output. So what we're going to do now is this is still going to return the text, only the final output. So we're going to do in the entire loop here until we're done with tools. So we'll need some function that processes the outcome, uh, if it's a function call or not a function call. Okay. So process Claude output and Claude actually response, and we pass here the response, which I forgot what type. It will be some, okay, forget that for now. And what do we need? So we're going to continue. We're going to pass as the next user message if we have one, or we're going to terminate if we don't have. So we can have potentially an infinite loop of tool calling. So for now, let me just see what comes out. Let's see. We go and say block, which is, oh, sorry, message. Okay, so let's guess. So this game host now. Train. Tool is not, yeah, train. What's going on? Next by keyword, argument tools. Why? What am I doing wrong? Messages. Oh, yeah. Uh, okay, so this is still a beta endpoint. Okay, let's try again. People request error. Field request. Okay, so we do need to pass. That's weird. So what if I don't have? Oh, I see. This is the input schema, but the properties are defined there. So the properties can be empty, I guess, but not the input schema. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, and we don't require anything. Chrome, come on. And we also don't require anything here. Can I do this? Let's see. Okay, we got some tool. Yeah, so this is expected. We don't have text. We're not yet in the final response. So we're now at this stage. Where is it? This is defined. And then where's the one that says stop? Stop waiting. There we go. So we're now at this stage. We do not have. Actually, we do have to. Well, maybe this is optional. I don't know. Oh yeah, there you go. Isn't yeah? So we may not have text. So now we got the tool response. So if we get this, we should process it and then keep going. So we're going to continue going until we're done with tools. And one thing to keep in mind is that this is pretty much the same thing we're going to call. We're just going to replace this content with the response from the tool. So for example, for now, I'm going to hard code this and it's going to be very clear. So let's just say, I mean, ignore the quality of the code at the moment. So if, what was it? If the message content, where is it? If the message content, if actually we need to find any, we could have multiple, so we need to find first if there's any tool use. So we're just going to check if there's any tool use and get it. So like tool use. Um, actually, for now, I'm even going to assume that it must exist. Tool, or maybe not. We'll see. Tool use. So we're going to find. And can we run multiple tools? Probably not. While you can prompt to use multiple tools by carefully designing your prompt, similarly to Claude filing dummy value. Okay, interesting. But we can do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do then, we actually kind of simplifies the code. So we're going to find any block. We're going to keep any block that has the tool use type. So if block type is tool use. Okay, so far so good. Why am I getting messages? Okay, so any block that has tool use, then I'm going to just for now, we're just going to tool blocks. Toolbox. We're just going to print them out. Let's go step by step. Okay. So here we cannot really do this at the moment, so we just stop it. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we're getting tools and it's getting the secrets. So far, so good. No input, and we've got this ID. So we need to give the ID. What we're going to do is run each tool. For now, again, we're going to just assume it's the same tool. We'll have to validate that in the future. Do routes. So I think and we need to provide the value, right? So we got this. Again, let's just for now hard code everything. We're going to send another message. So what I'm going to do now, although this is dangerous because we may get into an infinite loop, so don't do this, but I'm just going to do something like this. If toolblocks is empty, if not toolblocks, right? So what we do is this. We just assume we're in the final response. Otherwise, we're going to call it out again. And yeah, so this can be the although this is expecting a string. We'll get there in a second. What do we do now? Can parse two, that's fine. Unit. I'm getting a red bit rate. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. Okay, here's the tool result. We pass this and we want to then pass tool result, the ID of the tool. So tool for now, again, like we're not cleaning up the code, so it's fine. Actually, sorry, it could be a list. what we're going to do if not that. So full result, we're going to force it to train so we can then test if we pass train or if we pass something else, if it correctly tells us that we succeeded or not. So tool result, oh, okay, there we go. It's fine, tool result. And now we need the ID from the tool. Yeah, let's just for now look at the first one. Just the ID. Is this the right thing? Yeah. So the ID. Really like this thing. How do you disable this? Train and the ID will be. Oh, come on. Okay. Uh, define. So like this, right? You here? Yeah, we just. Uh, how do I disable? Yeah, gone. Okay. Um, can I? Okay. Okay. So. So what are we doing now? Okay, so this is the result, this is the ID, and we just type in that, and then we call it again with the user prompt set to the tool result. Okay, and then we return. Am I doing this right? Okay, so it then goes in, does the same thing, checks there's no, hopefully there's no tool the second time, and returns over there. Okay, let's do it. Tool use block is not subscriptable. Okay, tool use blocks. What type is it? Tool blocks 0. Okay, it's an actual. Yeah, 400. Um, hmm, interesting. Okay, let's do this, and then yes, because this is the thing. Like we're continuing a conversation, so this actually will have to get a bit more complicated. So like for now, let's just go history. This is a list of it doesn't matter, a list, and um, and it's optional. Oh, actually, no, it just could be empty. So we'll just set it to empty the first time. I'll clean this up in a minute. So there's no history, and then here, I need this. So the history. So what we're now going to do is that um, messages will be history and the new prompt. So okay, down here. Why is my bit rate so low? Okay. Okay. Uh, so we need that. We're passing that out. And then here, we just go and put messages. That's our history. Boom. Actually, I could, to be honest, I could have just put the prompt be a list, but that's fine. Tool blocks. Is this all correct? No, it's not correct. But provided when previous message does not contain tool use blocks. Okay, this is the previous message. Am I missing something? Okay, let's see. Print history. Okay, I have about 10 minutes. So let's see. Print history, what are we doing? So nothing. Then we go tool block. Okay, that's this. Then we have this. Yeah, we're missing out on the actual blocks that were returned. So we picked this block. Okay, that's it. So what we're doing, just to simplify, we're going to put toolbox here. That's it. Okay. Field required role. Okay. Let's see what's being returned. I need to start sorting out my messages. Um, Tool blocks. History. Okay. So history is empty. Then we get this message, which has this content. Okay, I need to convert that into the right type. Let me just see. A new message with the role user on the block. Okay, so new message. That's the thing. It's sent, so we need to consider that this message was sent is the assistance message. There we go, assistant. So I need to pass this. Is there a way to convert this into message of that type? Let's see. So toolbox. Let's stop that for now. Okay. Wow, this is getting horrible. Conversation is the same as messages. So, oh no, actually, sorry. Assistant turn. So what we're going to do is that the role is the assistant. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this. And the content is the tool usage thing, right? So it would have been this content. It would have been that. The content, I think here I should be able to do, but I'm not entirely sure. Toolbox. Okay, so we'll do was the assistant turns. Okay, and then we get in the history. We don't actually even get to the history. This sentence is not defined. What am I doing? Oh, okay. Boom, we got it plugged finally. Uh, okay, a few notes. Code is horrible. The way we're converting between these things is not the best possible. I think I could probably just pass the message. Actually, now I kind of want to try that. No. Okay, that's fine. Is there something here? Uh, we can probably just do. Oh, yeah, that. But here we could probably just do this, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so a couple of notes. I think I need a quick break as well. Code is horrible, but we do have this loop here now going on where we can parse the response. If it is a tool, we keep going. If it is not, we stop. So I think actually that in itself could be a good solution. We may need to clean up the the interface here and do something that like this should also go somewhere else, but it should work. I mean, okay, us actually try something else. So if we've done that, now let's go and say, hey, what if? Let me know if you guess it right. Actually, this is kind of weird. This is a weird response. Okay, let's just put now, let's see what happens if I fail car. Okay, well, okay, so this is cool. This is not. That's probably something we can do playing here. You have to, yeah, okay, we'll figure that out later. So we need to do the loop. Okay, so this is probably not the best way to convert these things, but it's fine. Okay, so what am I doing next? So we want to remove these print statements for sure. Oh, okay. Okay, so we can keep history. We can, yeah, with aggregating, we're creating a new message. Can create a new one, create a new message, that's fine. We're assuming that the tool is the always the correct one, but so we're going to pass this into something that can parse the tool and call it. So I think this loop still works though. So basically, we just check for any tool use blocks. If there's any, we should pass it on to the tool usage router. We'll figure that out in a second. If if there's none, we assume it's the final answer, and we return, and that's it. So okay, and then we have this loop here. So we're calling out to the same thing. So because of that, we actually need to keep the history. I think I might break this into two so that we can clean up the public API. Okay, so far, what have we done? Kind of this. Uh, we want to do this next. Okay, so by the way, I don't think I'm going to get to this today because my family is about to arrive. So no search API today, but if we can get a little game working, that would be cool. Okay, so I'm happy with this loop. This is where we have the touch. Okay, so have we got tools, toolbox? If not, return we're done. If yes, let's process that. Okay. Um, and for now, we're going to assume there's only one tool. Is that a good idea? What if the user says things like guesses and then go and tell me the score? We'll see. I don't know what will happen there. We'll see in a minute. Then I also need to figure out how we're going to do the loop from the user perspective. So we might return. We need to be able to continue the call. The call. Actually, let's do that now. Let's make sure that the user can intervene. So what we're going to do is not return a string. We're going to still return oh, a result in the list. Okay, and then this is fine here. Um, we actually need uh, we need more than this. Okay, let's continue assuming there's only one. Sorry, let's continue assuming there's only one tool to be run for now. Wait a second, how do they provide the multiple tools? It would still be like this, right? So am I going to pass everything? Probably not. This is one thing I need to figure out. So I right now I'm converting all these things myself. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Actually, let's go. Um, mm, okay, let's for now stop this. Be able to do a conversation. So we'll need to return the tuple. So we're going to return the messages. Or actually, we're going to call it a new history. And I need to remind myself again what comes out. So we just output an empty one for now. Unfortunately, I guess off train is correct. Unfortunately, what is going on here? Okay. Yeah. You know what? Like we'll probably need to play around with the model. I'm not going to bother with that right now. Um, okay, so message. Getting this full message, we get the content. Where is the role is defined here. I actually want to know, okay, Anthropic full message to message. Where is the message type? Wait a second. I'm sure I should be able to pass it like that. So, hmm, hmm. Kind of feels like a waste having to convert it myself. Uh, oops, that's not what I want. We'll use examples. Nope. Uh, Okay, there we go. So we pass these messages. Oh no, actually, what type is this? Tools with the message. Oh, what a message. Okay. Can I create the tools? Topic, import, topic. What? Types? Okay. Yeah. Tools with the message. Ah, yes, and I think it's the parameter ones. So this, what is that type? Oh, okay. Um, what? Where's the messages? Can I just not read? Oh, actually, the create function. Uh, messages of type messages. Okay, so can I do this? Can I tools beta message role user content oh content user prompt. Can I do this? Okay, let's see. Ah, um, okay, not defined. What are you talking about? Resources. Where's that coming from? Ah, okay. Mm, beta, there you go. Beta resources. Okay, so if I go and say import like from Anthropic resources beta, or even better, import. Let's see if that works. Okay, tools beta. Tools. Hmm. Resources. Okay, I'm going to continue doing what I was doing for now, and just to avoid wasting time. Okay, that's good. Okay, so okay, just to summarize, we already have the kind of chat going, not the chat, but the tool usage going. We now need to turn this into a chat, and the way I'm doing it is by passing out, when we call it, to pass out the results, but also the history of the conversation so far. And then we can call in again next time to add to that conversation. We have something that calls out Anthropic, and then something that will very soon process tools. And it already has the loop by some like weird regression going on here. So this is the message content. This is what it was said before. So okay, so now this is what we need to take out of here. Message content. So this is now the assistant turn. Okay, so far we're fine. In the new history, actually, let's rename history to conversation. So the new conversation. Okay. So this will be that plus, oh, I cannot type anymore. Plus the assistant's turn. Okay, so far so good. So now what we need to do is to check if we've got blocks. If we have not got blocks, we just return with the new conversation. Okay. Okay, I'll clean that up in a second. New conversation, that's fine. Otherwise, we know we have tools, so we need to run it and continue. So far so good. And then we return the result of doing that. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. So actually, let me just do this. Response and conversation. Okay. And what we're going to do is to print the conversation separately so that we get a bit better formatting. I could use something else, but for now that's fine. So conversation, and then we want to see our response. Okay. Woohoo. This is the weird thing. Again, I'm not going to solve that now, but we are keeping. I mean, the types are a bit messed up right now, but we are keeping the conversation correctly. Actually, let me just do something. Uh, imports from print import print. I think that's it. Okay. And we're going to do print this. Actually, maybe. Ah, hmm? You know what? Let me not make stuff up. Okay. Because I was passing the string, almost sure, but I kind of want to keep it. So basically, the prints, I don't think I can pass this. So basically, I was always passing a tuple in this case. Okay, give me just a second. Okay. Okay, so one thing is we assume a single tool. I think we can actually very easily now change that. But let's take a step at a time. So we're now going to do something that can, like, given a tool, it can run it. So run tool, right? So, and now we're going to do what? We're going to do a pass in a tool block, which I need to check the type. Wait a second. So print. Actually, I'm not going to do anything with types at the moment, and we'll do that at the point where we're cleaning up the code. Uh, oh, come on. So we're going to pass this on, and we're going to come up with what? Another block like this. So we're going to pass on a dictionary. Okay. So run the right tool to the tool block, and yeah, that's it. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so we're now going to just pretend that it's always the same tool. So let's keep that hard coded. We just want to hook things up, and we now want so we can now process all of this inside. We just want to make sure that this code now is independent of the running the tools. Okay, tool block. Okay, pass it. Okay, and now we can do something along those lines, along the lines of mapping all the tool blocks into their results, and then we pass it in here, right? And that should work. Okay, so now the tool results, we forget this. Okay, so now what we're doing is just going through the tool blocks. So we get the block for block in toolbox, and I may be able to do even one better. But yeah, anyway, we do that, and for the block we run the tool. Okay, so now we've got the tool result, which is already a list. And it's ready to pass on. Here we can pass on the new conversation. Okay, so now what we have? Well, we have an error. That's what we do. First message needs to be a user role. Yeah, I'm probably just passing the wrong thing here. So conversation, what's happening? Let's debug this out. Okay. Uh, okay, conversation D. Okay, we start with nothing and then we append. Oh yeah. We're doing this and we're not putting the message from the user. So what needs to go here is actually messages. Okay. Okay. So what do we have now? We have a way to request Claude, and then we have a way to continue a conversation, and hopefully, like in a very simple recursive manner. And we can process tools inside it, run the tools that we need, and continue. So, and we can run multiple tools as well if those are provided, and we pass all the results. And we'll test that in a second. But okay, so we now have the conversation. How do we continue this conversation? Let's see if we can. So what we do then is to say, for example, let's say this is now the second turn, so we have that one. And now what we're going to do is to continue the conversation. So we just continue the conversation here. And now what we say is like, thanks. Can we play again? Oh, I should print, right? Great. Now I've overridden the values. Okay. Run. Okay. Oops, looks like the secret word is trying again. So it's basically not allowing us to do anything else. We can change the system prompts to allow it to talk about other things other than the game, but we can keep a conversation. So that's the important part. Now let's do a quick update there. And then we still need to fix this. So right now we're hard coding the result. We actually need to run a tool. And then we're going to add this scoring to it. Okay, so you're a game host, the user. Okay, the user can chit chat between games. Okay, so the user will play multiple games and can chit chat between the games. Okay, not sure if this will fix it, but that's fine. Um, no, it did not fix it. But okay, we'll have to play around with the different models and the prompts. But for now, let's hook the tools. So what we can do, so right now, obviously, we only have a tool, so it doesn't really make much sense. But what we can do is two things. So, okay, let's pause a little bit. So we've got this, right? Now we'll need to hook the different tools. So hook different tools and error and validate tool running. Because if we try to run a tool that doesn't exist, we should stop. Um, let's just say maybe. For now, should be fine. Okay. Um, okay. So one thing we could do for this, let's hook it first, and then what we can do is just provide some potential secrets and just have it choose between them. But to be honest, actually, I'm not going to spend much time there because what we want to do now is to hook all the different functions. But we're already starting to see how tool usage works. So from now on, it's just having fun and kind of correcting the prompt because I don't think we're going to learn much more from what I'm going to do next. But yeah, let's define the tools here. So we can do a get secret. Let's try to match the names. And this gives us a string. Again, let's continue hard coding these things. So now what we want to do is to create a function map which has the function name and the function to call. Very simple. There are other ways to do this also automatically, but it's fine. I prefer simple things. Okay, we keep that, and then we call it. The function itself does not need to know anything about the this. We will need to be able to pass parameters later, but that's in the future. Okay. I also think I'm running out of time. I keep saying that every 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So we've got this function, and then what do we do? So tool to run. So we want to run the tool. So actually, sorry, let me just pull this out for now. We don't want to be creating it all the time. So current tool or a tool to run. And what we're going to do now is to go function map, going to get, and we'll default to none. We'll check that in a moment. And then the tool comes in the name. Okay. So tool block name. So for now, we just assume that it's fine. So we'll do an assert so we know why it failed, but now we're going to assume it's a valid name. So tool to run is not none. Okay. And then tool to run. Call it. Okay. No parameters should be linked though. So okay. Zero what? Go ahead and make your guess. This is the part like okay. I think basically what we need to do is let's start. Let's start the game. Okay, let's do it. Let's start the game. Okay, great. I have a secret word. Boom. So it probably call out to. Actually, let's start printing when it calls out. Uh, called out to get secret. Okay. Okay. Too long name. So called out to this, and then we can know when it calls. Okay. Okay, call out to great. Okay, we've got the secret. Then let's go into guess. Train. I guess we were just being too keen. It didn't know what to do. So okay, excellent. Woohoo! Okay, well done. And then what we do, like now, we're going to continue. Okay, now this is going to look like a game. Okay, can we play again? It keeps calling out to the secret. That's weird. Oh, okay, I see. Because yes, looks like the secret. No, okay, it's kind of getting a bit weird, but it did call out to the secret again to play. So what happens if I now say train? Is it Yay. Okay, so we can do conversations. That's cool. Um, okay, so I am not really liking having all this noise here. So what I'm going to do now is just I know what conversation I want independently of the output. So I think I might just put this into a list. We'll see. Okay, good progress. Well, good progress. I would say probably an hour 26 for this is a bit too long, but um, yeah. Also, I hope you don't. I'm not sure if you can hear any banging, but there's some noise coming through the wall. Okay. Okay. So we've got this secrets. Ooh, let's leave it hard coded for now. Now we want more tools. Okay. So we're going to set the score. Do we want to set the score or increment? Add. Okay. Add to score because then it allows it to do relative and doesn't have to do any math. So I think I prefer that. Um, uh, okay. Points. And we get this. So now we're going to get parameters, actually. We're going to learn something after all. Do we want to return anything? So we could either return the score, but that probably means it will choose never to call the one to get the the current score. Is that a big problem? Yeah, actually, let's just return it here. Um, okay, so add to score. We return 0 for now. And global variables, here we go. Current score is 0. Actually, what I could do is to have it. Yeah, maybe I should have this being the set score since it knows what score it is. But let's not do that. Yeah, let's just continue like this for now. Okay, so current score was points. Actually, sorry. We want to do this. Okay, we'll have to reset the score every time we want to start again, but it's fine. Now let's map it here uh, to score. Uh, let's do score. Okay, and we'll need to pass parameters. How do we do that? Input. Cool. Okay, so we just get the input as well. So this is what we're going to do. We'll input. Ah, actually, okay. Since it's going to be a dictionary, I'm trusting a lot the input. This is fine. Obviously, in production code, please don't do this. And I am over the next sessions, I'll probably try to integrate some of this into a project I'm working on. And at that point, I'll try to be a bit more methodical, but not just having fun. Okay, so input. Oh, and we want to do something along these lines, right? Okay. Okay, so now we can have inputs. Points. Okay, let's define it. So another tool. This is where Pydantic comes in, but it would be cool to be able to convert this into this automatically. And I guess I could do with Python inspection and all that, but I'm not going to do that now. So I just need to check one thing. I need to check where my family is. Because if they're on the way here, we may have reached our limit for today. Okay. Okay. So name add to score. It's going to be interesting because this is one of those cases where you do want to name functions correctly. Otherwise, it stops working. Okay, so add points to the total score. You want to provide the new points added, not the total score. Add points to the total score and returns the current total score after adding the points. Okay. Okay. Also, one more thing is that yeah, okay. Uh, points. Actually, let me see if this might help. Oh, maybe by formatting. Okay. Points can be negative if meaning the player lost uh, point. Okay. Okay. So far so good. And now here we'll have to define that and we'll need to change this. Okay. So how do we define them? Points. Let's start. So properties points. Let's put this here. Okay. Okay, so points will be type integer, I guess. Description. Um, the number of points to add to the total score can be negative to remove points. Okay. Okay. So this should now let us do something. And do we need to provide what it returns? No. And it's required. Okay, required point. Okay, okay. Let's give it a try. Oh, we still need to change this. Yeah, so let's see. The user has to guess the correct word. The user has to guess the correct word. Each correct guess. Each. The user can request the current score, which does not count as a fail. Okay. Um, so we're providing this. Okay. Um, remove this. I'm just concerned here that I did not remove the mention of getting the total score. You might just as well add it, right? So, okay, why not? So, get score description, get the current total score. Um, I don't think we need much more than this, to be honest. Okay, and we don't need any properties. Empty, nothing. Okay, and now we just need to define it here. Yeah, get score. Okay, we return that. Do we mention here that we return, you want to, okay, and returns the current total score. Yeah, okay. And get score, get score. Okay, so I mean, if this works first time, that's cool. But I think the point here is that the setup is starting to show how by kind of splitting it this way, we can actually add tools very easily now, and have a conversation. So let's start the game. Okay, let's start the game. So let's guess, train. Boom. Okay, add to score. It did call it out, so that's good. Local variable reference before. What am I doing? How do you do that in the, yeah, current score? You should not do this, that's for sure. But I don't want to have to change this code to have other objects in state and all that. Yeah, it would be cool. Actually, one thing I could do, I won't do it now, but so the tools are self-sufficient. But the one thing I could do is to assume that there's some state or some memory, and the functions can operate on that memory, so I can pass it on a bit like a blackboard. Actually, I might do that in a second, but for now, let's just do this. Okay, we're starting again. Boom. Okay, so called out to this error, found a number, but tool result content must either be a string or a list. Yes, a string or a list. Ah, okay, let's just put the responsibility of that here for now. Boom. Okay, got another secret. That's good. Better luck next time. What? Um, that what? Okay. So what? Okay, no problem. Uh, sure, let's play again. No, the secret word is not train this time. Is it not? What's happening, dude? Did we not leave it as train? We did. Okay. So for now, let's just assume that's a lapse from haiku. What I do want to do though is to tell it to output the current score. Okay, when it finishes. So user guesses the secret word. The user can request their current score. Cool. You have to use the tools provided, and you have to tell the user if they guessed correctly. Also provide the secret. No, okay. Um, and their current score. Okay, once they place their guess. Uh, can they? Okay. Okay, let's start the game. I've got the secret word for you. Go ahead and first guess. Okay. Train. Call out to get secret again, so that's interesting. Oh no, it did not call the first time. Your current score is 100 points. Ready for next round? Yes. Let's just say yes. Ready for next round? Yes. Go ahead and make your guess. Okay. Now let's just say, what's my score again? Okay, he called out to get scored, so that's pretty cool. And your current score is okay. Let's make the guess now. This is cool, I'd say. And my guess will be car. Boom. 90 points. And we remove. Okay. So I guess we got a little game working. So this actually gives me some ideas for next time. I want to do a search engine, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking maybe we should build a game using AI. I also just realized that the Twitch stream has the wrong title, so it's great. Okay, so creating a. Let me show you what I'm doing. So creating a um, simple guessing game with AI. Yeah, whatever. Um, okay. It does say that my feed is unstable. Why? If there's anyone watching, can you tell me if you can hear me or see me in the chat, please? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so we got a little game. We can update the state of the game, do a few turns. Doesn't always work. It gets confused sometimes, but that I would say is probably either the fact we're using a small model or the fact that we need to improve our prompt, that's fine, but we managed to define some tools and get it going. This has given me an idea that maybe we should build a text-based game and have Claude define the state transitions or be the state machine, and then we just keep the state. So one thing I'll want to do before I close it, I'm probably going to finish very soon. So what have we done? We've done all these. Ah, why? Okay, okay. So we've done this. And not copy this. Okay, we've done that. We've done that. So I want to do a search, use a search API and hook it into a chatbot. But I'm also thinking maybe next time we'll do another game, maybe a better game. We'll see. Anyway, just to finish today, I want to move this state. I don't like the fact that we're using global state, and this can get confusing. So what I want to do is to have the state be a memory, and I quite like this functional approach. At least for testing, this will be pretty useful because it allows us to easily test different paths, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So I want to be able to provide a current state, and again, this will be a dictionary, and will it be a dictionary, or do I want to, yeah, actually, this is it. So we're going to want to define the state here. Oh, actually, my family just arrived, so I might need to stop this earlier. But okay, so we're going to want to define the state here, and from collections imports named tuple. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. Oh, what happened? It's not from collections. Okay, name tuple collections. Ah, okay. Named tuple. Cool. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to define the state. State. Let's call it state type. Be the names tuple, um, state type, and we're going to play some things here. So for now, just current score. Okay, but we could have other things. And then what we want to do is to go state type, and I'll hook that in a second, state type. And then we want to pass what? Where is it? Where is it? On the tool run, we don't even need to do anything else. What we want to do is to also pass a state. So we need to be careful because maybe we need to call it a name that would be rare to use, but we just need to make sure we're not passing states, the state with an argument that Claude would also be using. So for now, I'm going to assume I'm making lots of assumptions here. So all functions can go and have, let's call it internal state, right? State type. Let's just pass this to all of them. So we're implementing a little memory. And so internal state. Um, Again, I said functional. It's not quite functional, is it? Because I'm changing this. But for now, okay, state type. So all functions return this. Need some cleanup, but that's fine. Okay. We do that, and we return internal state with no changes, internal state with some changes, internal state with no changes. I'll want to get to a point where that internal state is immutable. Otherwise, I can just obviously mutate it and that's it. Um, okay, so now we pass into state. So let's call it again internal state or a memory in that case. Okay, and then could this be managed by Claude? I'm not sure. Maybe I should let Claude do everything, but then we can get mistakes. So we pass that, and we know that the tool now will give us the result and the new internal state. Okay, so result goes here. And the reason why I'm passing it as a string here and not always converting this into a string is because, again, it can accept a list. So at some point that might come in handy. Um, or should not be putting knowledge of what it does here, right? So, okay, so for now we'll hard code that here, and then we can detect the types and do something smarter. Okay, so we moved all the processing here. So I'm kind of a little bit all over the place, but what I want to hook now is the state into that. So we now get internal, internal state. Oh, actually, one thing I could do is to make this be the first parameter always, so that I can pass it as an argument and make sure that it never gets in conflict with Claude. At the same time, we're going to be overriding it here. So does it make sense what I'm saying? We'll see. Internal state, internal state. Okay, so we have that, and we now need to, well, I guess this is a disadvantage of functional interfaces, is that there's arguments going everywhere. Okay, so pass it out like that, new internal state. And then here, we cannot do it this way anymore. So we're kind of making the code a bit unclean in some other bits, but uh, one thing to consider as well is that the state, like if the state can be changed by any of the tools, then we can run multiple tools in the same iteration. Means that there's some dependency in the order, but what I want to get to is being able to test different states here. Maybe this is a waste of time. We'll see. Okay, so tool result. Um, okay, so internal state. Actually, sorry, internal state will be passed here as well. Internal state, state type. Okay. So now we have the new internal state. I'm not sure if I'm enjoying this part so much, to be honest. And okay, I'm just going to simplify for now. Okay, for a block in tool blocks, right? What do we want to do? So now we want to process this, and we're going to be overriding some things. So internal state, and we internal state. So there's some dependency on the order now, but that's fine. Internal state, and now let's create our state. Okay, game state is state type, and we're going to go current score 0. Now I could start at different scores, for example, and test it. So and then here, game state. I can pretty much now fake anything. Okay, game state, game state. And we need to return it as well. Actually, I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with this latest decision. Okay, internal state. And can I not do this? Okay. Um, okay. Okay. Okay, let's print the state as well. Print score is 0. Actually, let's start. This is why we needed to get the current score, actually, because at the beginning, we could start with this. Okay. So current score, game state. This is getting unwindy. Okay, so let's start the game. We have that score. Okay, let's start the game. We got the secret words. Okay, we guess train. We break. We guess train. What happens? Input should be a valid dictionary. Yeah, I'm definitely regretting having touched that part of the code. What's happening? Oh, yeah. So, where is it? So we get this, we get this. We run the tool. No, that's fine. Yes. So, um, tool results. Yeah, tool results. Append tool results. Okay, this is getting actually worse than before, to be honest. I should have stopped there. Okay. Instead. Okay. New state is equal to state type current score which is internal state, current score plus points. Okay, and we now updated the state. All good. Boom. Okay, we added. Then we go play again. What's my current score? What's happening? Oh, okay. Then we add this. Boom. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be working. I'm not sure if I'm very happy with this last change on the state. It did the code did get quite messy. Maybe there's something I can do to control that by wrapping this and just keeping all these as internals. But at least I can test different starting scores and conversation stages, etc. So that might help later on if I need to do some validation. For now, I think I'll probably stop here. Anyway, I hope this was useful in any way. The result is somewhat messy, but I had fun. So see you soon.